Well, good morning, Rob. And guess who? We have special guest Andy with us since he's on Christmas break right now. Hello, Andy. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Andy is, like I said, Andy's been in there like teaching. He comes in here. He comes in early, does a little bit of stuff on the floor. Then he has his teaching, and he's teaching these. Not you, Romeo. Then he starts. You know, they talk about you all the time. I was talking.
Romeo's ready for his camera shot.
Yeah, Romeo is. But anyway, then Andy has his own private office here, and he goes into the office and he starts doing his teaching. You guys, you ever heard?
I just want to say one thing.
Yeah, Rob.
I just want to send a shout out to a big fan of ours, Susan, by her request.
Oh yeah, Susan, he's back. You know, she said the show ain't lively enough unless we have Andy. So
you better be lively today.
And have it on at the office. Show everybody at the office what they're missing.
And, and subscribe to the channel as well, right, Andy?
Subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors.
And
have little parties. Have viewing parties.
You guys, I got some news yesterday. They're going to put our double doors on tomorrow.
Nice.
So I would say by January, we'll be in the new place. Cannot wait. Get out of this closet. We're in a closet. No, but it feels like a closet. Sometimes. Yeah, padded all over the walls and everything. Pads are falling down. Anyway. Hey, you guys ever heard of Catherine Austin Fitz?
Yeah.
She has. So we subscribe, or I subscribe to what they call the Solari report. This one is particularly called the state of our currency, right? And it talks about a lot about the currency war. Well, anyway, this lady's really smart, smarter than me and you and all of us. Yeah, first of all, she's the publisher of the Solari report, and she is the former assistant secretary of housing under the Bush administration.
Yeah.
And she came out guns a-blazing. Now, I'd rather read her report because I honestly, Catherine, no harm to, no bad thing to you, but I can't stand listening to you because your voice just does something to me. So I love reading your report because, you have to listen to her. It's like, I can't do it. It's like my mind, she does something to me. I don't know what it is. And I'm not even drinking coffee then. But anyway, listen, she says that the U.S. government is so fraudulent right now, is what she's saying. And she said that it will self-destruct much sooner than later. And again, like Baba Bunga, Catherine Fitz predicts that if you look at FTX, she says, my question is how much of the money sent to Ukraine, listen to what she says, got laundered right back to the 2022 midterm election. That was her question. I mean, that was her prediction. That's what she predicted.
What's her conclusion? What did she say?
Well, so she says, so to me, she actually says, Ukraine is not a destination point. And she said, it is a through but point. Whatever that means. It's a through but point.
It's a place where they pass money.
A through put point. Point.
Yeah. So they put it there and then they send it back. They funnel it back to whatever their interest is.
Yeah, and here we have himself, the Zelensky, coming to the United. I guess he's making an appearance today in front of Congress and with Biden today. It's interesting how this is his first trip out of Ukraine, allegedly.
How do you take a vacation when there's a war going on in your country?
Right. Well, Andy, let me tell you, if I was given $45 billion, I'd figure out a way to get here to the United States.
Yeah.
$45 billion. Not only that, Andy, they were
already been given $50 billion?
Billions. Listen, not only that, one other very important piece of the puzzle is he's also going to get some of our Patriot missiles.
That's right. Yeah, we've been talking about
that. and that's what they're doing. They're going to be doing. They're going to be giving him Patriot missiles. Do you realize they've already started striking in parts of Russia a little bit? But can you imagine what's going to happen? An all-out war. So let's hear what she has to say. Let's hear what Catherine has to say. So she says, at this point, I hate to say it, but we are in a full-scale implosion. Implosion means blowing up. You know, when they blow up those casinos, those are imploded. They fall to the ground. So she says, we're in a full-scale implosion. And the corruption is that bad, she says. That's why I'm telling you, she says, what we need is sovereignty. And the federal government is not going to deliver, she said. And the financial coup, she says, has reached a point where if you want sovereignty, the only person who can deliver that is the state governor and your legislator. She says, if you've got a great state attorney general, and if you have great legislature, if you have a great governor, you better start supporting them. And she says, they are the people that will protect your sovereignty. You need governmental sovereignty if you're going to have individual sovereignty, and you better do it now, she says. You have no time to be entertained by Joe Biden, Trump, and Hunter Biden, she said. Catherine Fitz is saying this. And the federal government, I have to agree with her. I have to agree with her on that. Makes a lot of sense. And she says the federal government cooperation was turbocharged, or cooperation was turbocharged in 2019. And Catherine says that while everyone was focusing on teenage sex of the Supreme Court nominee Kavanaugh, the House, the Senate, the White House, the Democrats, and Republicans, both sides of the aisle, got together and approved Statement 56 of the Federal Accounting Standards Advisory Board, called FASB, F-A-S-A-B, which I'm going to tell you, which said that they could keep secret books. And that was everybody together. She said, so there is no right versus left. And there is no Trump versus Biden. And there is a machine in control of a spending machine that is financed with our taxes. And Andy and I were just talking about that this morning on the Omnibus bill. Wow, wait till we share with you what's in that bill that our taxes are paying for that we had no frigging clue was in that bill until today. So when we get to that point, listen, write this down. You will not believe what's in this bill. It literally... Now, well, we'll talk about that here in a minute. So that's what she's talking about here, too, I think, Andy. And then she gets into talking about retirement accounts. Listen to this. She says that there is a machine in control of a spending machine that is financed with our taxes and debt borrowed in our name that is being sold into our pension funds and our retirement accounts. And that machine to keep balancing the books is implementing a depopulation plan. Rob, what did we just talk about yesterday? They've got this clinic now that has artificial wombs that are literally going to be popping out children out of these thousands of wombs. This is what she's talking about here, depopulation. And that is really, she says, that is reality that has to be faced. And changing the president won't even matter. She says, if you want to make real progress against the machine, you've got to talk turkey about where your money is going. Who are the local leaders and who are your state legislators who are going to support you when the machine fails you completely? And if it doesn't fail you in 2023, it will fail you in 2024. So you better be ready. Wow, she ain't holding back anything. And Catherine Austin Fitz also says, now remember, this is her saying this, but I got to tell you, what she's saying makes a lot of sense to me. Andy?
It makes sense to me. I mean, we've been talking about this stuff, for quite a while.
This is just another person identifying what we've been saying.
The government has its own objectives. It no longer represents the people. That's obvious. That's a farce. We know that.
When are we going to stand up and declare, like, look, we voted you in. It's us that put you in office. we should be able to vote on opening up borders, not you people's. I mean, it's crazy. They need I don't know what. I don't know. Let me go on further because you know me, I get really flustered over there.
Yeah, just speaking about that, though, the open borders is bad when Gavin Newsom was complaining about it.
Did you guys just see one of our brokers? I call him upside down because he wears his hats upside down a lot. Anyway.
But the situation at the border is really bad when even Gavin Newsom was complaining about it. Gavin Newsom was saying, we don't have the space at our facilities, at our shelters, at our centers. We can't afford it. So if you have the most liberal governor in the country complaining about it, then it's very, very serious.
Thank God for Justice Roberts, who at least put a temporary hold on Title 42. But I'm telling you, we were just talking about this yesterday. They're coming up through the damn manholes like rats. I was talking to a client yesterday, and she I guess she heard me. She said, "Oh, they're like rats and cracks." I'm like, "Yeah, they're like termites. They're just spreading everywhere, and literally they're popping out of manholes. They're lucky they don't get shot when they pop up through that manhole or get ran over by a car. They're popping up through manholes, going through tunnels to get in through the city. It's crazy, and they're getting they're getting away with it.
One of the big ironies about all this is that people who come here and they risk their lives. It's very dangerous. Many people die crossing the border, but according to the left, this is a racist country, and it's a patriarchal country, and there's no hope for you. You're oppressed if you're a minority. Yet all of these people are coming, who are risking their lives, doing something very dangerous. They're leaving their home country. They're leaving their family, where they grew up, to take a chance here and come here. And it shows that
some of them. There's a lot of them that shouldn't be even coming through.
No, but I'm saying that people still look to the United States as a place. Where they can better their lives, they can have more opportunity, and what they don't. I feel really sad because people are coming here, leaving horrible situations. And they don't know what's really going on in our government.
Or where this country is headed.
Where this country is headed.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
I mean,
and a lot of them are just being used as pawns to get more democratic votes.
I mean, I love I was born in America, and I love my country.
Let me see your ID, sir.
Believe me, I'm American. I'm a true-born Iowa boy. I grew up in Iowa. So anyway, let me finish telling you what Fitz says.
You ever heard of Muscatine, Iowa?
Yeah, I know. We talked about that. It's a little hobo. Yeah, actually, they have a
That's
strawberry.
where my grandpa.
And Muscatine. I know. I was asking Dave yesterday. I mean, I've never been there. I'm like, Muscatine, Iowa. They have a strawberry festival there because they grow strawberries.
It's a small town, right?
Yeah, tiny, little podunk town.
Well,
that's all of Iowa. Iowa, they just hope to get out of there unless you're rich and you have a family and you stay. Anyway, it's bad. Anyway, let me go on. So Catherine Fitz says that a big trend in 2023 that is already underway is people realizing that the COVID-19 injections were not meant to save you but harm and kill you. That's what she said. I didn't say that. That's what she said.
A lot of people are saying.
But she says that the mainstream media has done a really good job painting a different picture, but at some point you cannot defy reality, and that's coming out. And she said, we've already seen it translated into market action, and we see life insurance companies trading down 30% and funeral home businesses trading up 20%, and that's a 50%. That's huge. Divergence. That's huge.
Numbers don't lie.
Listen, just this year I was complaining about it, and I was talking to you all about it yesterday. I actually started looking into it because my health insurance just this year has gone up twice this year. Wow. I'm paying for one person, single, with a dog. I'm paying $1,269 a month, and that is not even the deductible. That's just what it costs for me to be a member and get my medicines, right? Anyway, so she goes on and she talks about the importance of physical gold and silver in the not-so-distant future. And she also talks about using cash and growing clean food and paying down your debts. She says central bank digital currency places to, there's going to be central bank digital currency, places to live to weather the coming storm, taxes and the strength of binding together for sovereignty against the machine. So in closing, she says, get out of fear and stay out of fear. You think a snowflake is weak and fragile until enough of them get together and then they can shut down New York City. If we can face it, God can fix it. So don't go to fear. And you know, when she said that, it's so funny because last night I found, and if you're watching, Gail, I really have it. So a client of mine a couple of years ago gave me for Christmas a silver coin, and it's a stamped coin, and on the front it says faith, and on the back of it, it says all things possible. So this is exactly what Catherine is talking about right here. She says if we can face it, God can fix it. Don't go to fear. Don't let them scare you, in other words. What do you got to say, Rob?
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, she has a great point there, but people have to realize that, you know, God's not going to do everything for you, right? You're going to have to go ahead, man up, and actually get your house in order, right? You can't just, beg and.
Well, you have to go by, Rob, you have to go by, there's a scripture, another scripture in the Bible, and it's in Hebrews 11:1, and it's now faith is the substance of things hoped for. Yeah, evidence of the things unseen. Yeah, so you've got to take that initial step. I agree with you, and have faith in order. And that's why you should give us a call at 800-753-8534. Put your faith in us. Let us show you.
You know, that reminds me of a very famous Jewish saying, which is really apropos, and it starts out with, "If I'm not for myself, who will be for me?"
Yeah.
But then there's another part.
Well, you have to take the first step.
If I'm not for myself, who will be for me?
Yeah.
If I'm only for myself, what am I? I mean, you can't just be for yourself. You have to be connected with other people.
That's right.
And then the last part is, if not now, when? And that's the key part. If not now, when? You have to take action right now at this moment. If you're not paying attention to this and getting into gold and silver right now, you're not seeing what's going on. You're delaying this. Gold's up to over 1820 now. We were talking to people a month ago, and gold was 1620.
You know what's interesting, Andy?
And they were hesitating. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Take action now.
Let me share something with you. Even gold is still up over 1800, and silver is still way up there as well. And people have been taking actual dividends and distributions from their gold and silver. They've been selling a lot of it out, and we're still way up there. What does that tell you? Because a lot of people are starting to pull because gold went up right now, but it's just going to keep on going up. And this is why Catherine Fitz is saying
you're not going to be able to get gold. Probably in a year or two. It's not going to. There's not going to be access to it. It's going to be very hard to get, and you don't want to be that person on the sidelines. Oh, I thought about getting it. I used to watch the UGG show, and they would talk about it, and I never did anything. And I said, don't be that person. Take action. You don't have to invest everything. You want to have a certain amount of your assets in gold and silver, and you'll have security. You'll have a feeling that, okay, I have an asset when there is no money available, when the government programs all the money and you have no choice, the government is going to tell you when you can spend, then you're really going to be kicking yourself that you didn't take action.
No, it's so true. It's so true. You know, do you know who AOC is? All right. So after 2 years under this Biden administration and Biden toting his own economic accomplishments, most Americans today are still living paycheck to paycheck. And as we found out even more so, a lot of them are living off of the welfare and making more than they could just staying at home rather than actually going out there and working like most people should be, right? Well, in a tweet on Monday, Alexandria Cortez, whatever her name is, Ocasio-Cortez, but her real name is Alexandria. She
Sandy, for Sure. That's what friends call it.
Well, we just love him back, don't we? She suggested that. No wonder they wanted him back.
He's funny.
Yeah. So she suggested that Republicans were to blame for Congress failing to raise the minimum wage last year, despite Democrats having a majority in the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate. And 60% of workers, this is what just goes to show you, this woman has no clue. She don't know who she's voting for, what she's voting for. She don't have nothing. She's just going to automatically, if anything is bad, she's going to blame it on the Republicans. So 60% of workers report living paycheck to paycheck, the Republican Party tweeted on Monday. And AOC responded, and yet, and she says, and yet, y'all, is she from the South? She's like Kelly Clarkson. Y'all come back. Like
she acts like, it's funny, she grew up in the suburbs, but she tries to talk like she's from the hood.
Yeah, listen, she says, and y'all still voted against raising the minimum wage. Well, while this tweet was likely intended to be a swipe at Republicans, Twitter fact check jumped into the conversation to add context to her claim, allowing both parties are to blame. And the minimum wage has not changed since 2009, and the fact check wrote showing both parties have had adequate time to actually argue for and pass such a measure, and neither has. So here you go again, somebody just jumping in. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter because the states can raise it to whatever they want.
That's
California, right. It's, well, I don't know, what's it, 15, 16, 18? They keep raising it every other month. It doesn't even matter with the government because the states are way, way higher.
Yeah. Andy, what do you think about the House Democrats, how they voted to make Trump's tax returns public after a 4-year battle while top Republicans actually claim...
It's a witch hunt. It's a public lynching. They've been lynching Trump in the public square for 4 years, or back to 2016 now, 6 years.
Do you want to see him?
What's that?
Do you want to see his tax returns?
I don't really care.
Do you pay taxes?
Of course.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, let me ask you a question. If there was anything illegal in those tax, don't you think he'd be in jail by the Treasury Department or something? So all they're doing is they're making another show and tell.
Yeah.
Let's get these taxes, and they're going to be actually made public after nearly a 4-year fight.
Let's make every politician's taxes public then. How about that?
They should.
Yeah.
They should, because you know that allegedly Biden's and all them aren't showing everything either. I mean, come on. There's so much stuff out there right now, but if Trump really had fraudulent tax forms...
This is the bottom line. You know, the Republicans are crooked. The Democrats are crooked.
Allegedly.
No,
everybody.
They're all crooked. They're all crooked. They're all accepting money from FTX.
Politicians.
They're all crooked. They all work together, right? There's nobody good inside office right now, right? It's just it's a distraction to what's really going on. What's really going on is people's accounts are about to get decimated in the Wall Street casino. You have CBDC being test piloted. You know, they're conducting their proof of concept. Come July 21st, 2023, all of Americans, all of the U.S., we're going to be fully in CBDC. That's according to the Central Bank, Federal Reserve of New York. So, you know, this is all distractions, right? We have this ridiculous $1.7 trillion funding bill. Right.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute, Rob. So, U.S. House what did you just say?
It's a screw Trump.
Oh, okay. Watch your language on here. Remember, our clients don't like that vulgar language out of your mouth.
Here.
Well, they'd say you have a little bit of roughness to you. You're a little roughness. They're going to think you're from India again. You know, they're a little rough over there in India. Anyway, I'm just kidding. The U.S. House GOP representatives, Dan Bishop, actually went to work today with his team to actually dig into what is this spending bill that the U.S. Senate just passed. And oh my God, you will be shocked. This, they call it the Omnibus bill. It's over 4,000 pages long with $1.7 trillion in spending. So guess what? Inflation's going to go higher, and it prohibits the government from spending any money to be used to improve the U.S. border security.
do you want to prevent that?
No, this is for real.
Why should we have border security?
Who wrote this? China? This is what it looks like. It looks like China wrote this. And here's what Representative Dan Bishop tweeted out. And he tweeted it out this morning. He says, my team and I are reading through this omnibus bill today, all 1.7 trillion and 4,155 pages of it. You know, nobody looked at this damn bill to see what was in the bill. They just wanted to pass it really quick because they're all going to their mansions and they're going to their Christmas parties and they're all wanting to get out of here for Christmas. So they don't want anything to do with this. They just wanted to pass it, which what really pisses me off is that you have Republicans that could have waited for this thing because we're about to take the House, yet they went ahead and they approved this damn bill. And what's really sickening is Zelensky is in town while they sign that damn bill. Now, what odds were that he's coming in? And part of this bill is going to him too. So let me share this with you all. And this is why we, the people of the United States of America, should be really pissed off, angry. And this is why Catherine Fitz was talking about we should really stand up. Let me explain to you what's in this bill. It expressly prohibits CBP funding from being used to improve border security. 14, in that bill it says in number 14, none of the funds provided in Section A1 shall be used. In 16, to hire permanent federal employees. 17, for any flight hours other than those flown by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, air and marine operations, except for internal transportation or of non-citizens, oh my God, or to acquire, listen to this, I'm going to show you all this, to acquire, maintain, or extend border security technology and capabilities except for technology and capabilities to improve border patrol processing. In other words, just pull them through.
Yeah.
It's almost like a bus. Just put them on the bus, bring them across the border, let them out.
They put them on the plane and they fly them into hotels.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But, hey, listen to this. But the U.S. will pay for the border security, listen to this, Rob, in the Middle East countries and $1.4 billion for membership in global organizations. Listen to this, you all. Oh, God, there I said it, y'all. In section, it says here, Representative Dan Bishop. But at the same time, are you ready for this one? Allocates $410 million toward border security for Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, Tunisia, and Oman. These are all those countries right there are terrorist countries. And yeah, they are. There's a lot. Lebanon, Egypt, Tunisia, all these things.
They're not terrorist countries.
Well, what do you want to call them?
No, I mean.
All right, I take it back. They're not.
Yeah, I mean, but
you know what I mean.
These countries deserve border security, but we don't.
Yeah,
basically.
That's the issue. I mean,
yeah, I mean these.
I've been to Egypt. I've been to Lebanon. Beautiful places, but why are we sending money over there?
It's crazy.
It's so they don't have people invading their country.
Yeah, but
right?
we can't protect ours. Listen to this.
We have a border here.
It says Section 8113. Here, I'll show y'all. Section 8113 of the amounts appropriated. Hold on this. Of the amounts appropriated in this act under the heading Operation and Maintenance Defense-wide for the Defense Security Cooperation Agency, $410,000 to remain available until September 30th of 2024 shall be available to reimburse Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, Tunisia, and Oman under Sections 1226 of the National Defense Authorization Act for the fiscal year 2016-22, USC 2150 note for enhanced border security, of which not less than $150,000 shall be for Jordan provided. Wow. And then, of course, Is this right? 1,400,000,000. Wait, is that right? 1,438,000,000,000 for membership in global.
I think it's 1 billion.
1 billion.
Yeah.
1,438,000,000 for membership in global multilateral organizations, including the United Nations.
So we're paying their fees to be in the United States. Yeah, the United States pays all this money out to other countries throughout the world.
It says the bill will spend $65 million on salmon. And the word salmon appears 48 times in the bill.
Sam, who gets the salmon? The bears? Are they
Check this out.
like
well, look at it. Look at here.
Is that code word?
Salmon are an essential.
Can I get some of that salmon?
$65 million for salmon seems kind of fishy, right? That's what they're saying. Salmon, $65 million, and millions for fisheries and more fish. Okay.
Nice handout to that industry.
Representative Dan Bishop, $3 million for bee-friendly highways and another $5 million for the salmon.
Wait. What's a bee-friendly highway?
I don't know. BEE-friendly highways. What's a bee? This is bullshit.
I don't know. A bee-friendly highway.
Yeah, listen to this. Under Bill.
Our highways not.
1635. Rights of Way program under Section 332 of Title 23 United States Code, $5 million shall be for a cooperative series of agreements with universities, federal agencies, the National Academy of Sciences, transportation agencies, and nonprofit organizations to examine the impacts of culverts, roads, and bridges on threatened or endangered salmon population.
I have a clue. So who's behind this bill?
Great question.
It's a good question.
It's just I think they get all the special interests. Everybody like puts in what they want.
I didn't know we had. First of all,
they just dump it. They dump it all in there. Hey, I want my thing. Hey, I want my thing.
How come we never heard that salmon? All this money is going to this endangered salmon.
No, no money's going to salmon. It's clearly.
It's going in pocket.
It's clearly
going
code.
in pocket.
That's code for something.
Yeah. Listen to this. And here's what Representative Dan Bishop says. And lest the other fish feel left out of the spending spree, here's $65.7 million for international fisheries commissions. And perhaps, he says, President Bush was onto something when he said, I know the human being and the fish can coexist peacefully. Oh, my God. And on a more this is no joke. And on a more sinister note, here's at least $575 million for family planning in areas where population growth threatens biodiversity and millions for buildings named after corrupt politicians.
This just goes to show that
wait, I'm not done. Let me
the government has an unlimited checkbook. We don't.
Well, here we go.
$65
million in 2 programs for Senator Leahy and a federal building named for Nancy Pelosi. There you go.
That's what we
need. Federal building Pelosi. Oh my God. He says swamp gonna swamp. This is what he says. And millions in earmarks. So here are just a handful. I got to pull this up. I have to see this. Wait a minute. We got to take a look at this. I got to zoom in on this. All right. 3.6 million just for a Michelle Obama trial. Yeah, you talk about people not being able to eat. Groceries, eggs, $6.59 a dozen.
What's the Michelle? Is it Michelle Obama trail, like a hiking trail?
I guess. Exit point. There's so many crazy. And
the bottom line is this. It's ridiculous.
Well, wait, I'm not done.
It's dumb. It's
400. Here's a few more earmarks. $477,000 for anti-racist training from the Equity Institute. $3 million for the LGBTQ Museum in New York City, 1.2 million in services for DACA recipients, 4.1 million in various career programs for one of the richest countries in the United States, Fairfax, and billions more for Ukraine. And if an additional 47 billion in Ukraine funding isn't enough for you, he says, the bill also authorizes a Ukrainian independence pact right here in D.C. Also, monuments for journalists and service animals. And $500 million for the DEI and the minority health research. And $524 billion for DEI and structural racism. This just goes on and on. $300,000 per year for the continuous plankton recorder. Chump change compared to the rest of the bill. And of course, there's a section for NDAA corrections, another gargantuan bill that passed in a rush because God forbid the Congress actually proofread legislation before actually passing it. So like Andy said, $200 million in a gender equity fund. Gender equity. Mutilate, I don't know. Last year's administrative expenses for the back injury. This is crazy. So what Andy is talking about, hundreds of millions for the flu and more. Wait, what happened to the word COVID? Hundreds of millions for the flu and more.
You know, when I hear all of this stuff, I just think that they spend money however they want for their own interests, for their own benefit, to remain in power, while the average citizen, of course, can't do that. We have to take care of ourselves. It's so obvious the government is so out of control. It's so off the rails. It's not connected with reality in any way, shape, or form. And this is why our currency keeps getting devalued, because they spend money like this. They pull money out of thin air and they spend it like this. This comes out of our taxes, and then they're going to come, and when things get really bad, they're going to try, like Robson's saying, they're going to raid retirement accounts. Your retirement account. They're going to say, okay, you know what, we need to take everybody's retirement account. After we've been spending all this money like this, now we're coming for your money. And
this is crazy. This is
something that you got to be prepared for that day, because these guys, they only care about staying in power, and they only care about the people spending money that will keep them in power, and they're going to come after us.
Well, listen to this.
After you.
They have in this bill more visas that actually hurt working people. And also in this bill, it's very interesting, is another $535 million for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which indirectly funds the NPR via grant. Unbelievable. This thing just goes on. And the provision nearly doubles the 66,000 available H-2B visas. So they're going to get more visas, and this bill just goes on and on and on. Did you know that the House of Representatives has an Office of Diversity and Inclusion? It's set to receive nearly $26 million in taxpayer dollars, millions to Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood? $286 million in Title X funding, which funds Planned Parenthood. This is crazy. This just goes on and on. And this omnibus was released around 2 a.m. today, and at 2 a.m. in the morning,
they always do that in the middle of the night.
While we're asleep, they're passing the bill, and the Senate is voting now to begin debate on the bill. And to read the entire bill by now, you'd have to need to. He says you would have needed to read 4+ pages per minute without a single break for 16 hours straight. And so he concludes that no one in Washington, D.C. cares for regular folks in America. And these people are totally out of touch. This bill is a crime scene. It's put together by America haters and criminals. And I'll tell you something, that's a lot of money. And on that note, I got to go puke. I mean, Bob, you're just speechless over that.
I know. It's ridiculous. It's so dumb. This is what I've been talking about. Like, you really think the Republicans
give a fuck about you? You really think the Democrats care about you? They're going to come save you? You're going to go ahead and vote somebody in because they're going to do right by you? It's clear as fucking day that these people do not care about anybody. This is why it's very important. You can pray all you want to God. You can pray to your whatever you pray to. But the reality is, if you don't get your house in order, if you don't start moving forward and conducting action and taking the necessary steps to protect your household, then, I have no pity for you, right? You're just going to end up like everybody else, attached to a TV, fried brain, right? Just in the matrix, stuck, never exiting. And this is a great example of what we have in front of us, right? Because what's really going to happen is that you're going to see multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires leave the U.S., get visas in Saudi Arabia or Dubai, and have a prosperous life while the U.S. becomes the United States of Venezuela. I don't like Sean Hannity. I've never liked Sean Hannity. To me, why
are you mentioning Sean?
Because Sean, a couple years ago, would always say they're looking to turn us into the United States of Venezuela. They're looking to turn us into the United States of Venezuela.
You mentioned that,
and
yesterday.
He was right. He was spot on.
Well, let me take a back seat. You know how much I hate the binary drag queen that Biden hired for his admin. I'm sure he didn't hire him, but they hired him.
There's more news about this.
Oh, yeah. So listen, there's an official alert out right now, and I'm about to show you this. They've raised the question now, did Britain, kleptomaniac, female, I got to think of a nickname for her, non-binary.
She's a thief, that's all.
Did he steal bags before? And are any of the outfits he has been worn before? That's why I want to know. I'm going to show you a picture, and if you know this is your you wore this and he took it, then you need to report it to the police, because a lot of people now are. This is true.
What?
Wait, watch. So here he is. Wait, let me just show you this picture here. Hold on. So here you have Britain. Now, if you recognize that, whatever you call that thing, a top smock, or if you recognize those pink shoes, then you need to call the Las Vegas Police Department or any of the other ones, because, we're not sure if he actually, okay, here's a little smock halter top. If you wore that and now you're missing it, you need to call the police department. Oh, also this green whatever, and don't get mad, get elected, make sure of that, right? And if this is your outfit and it was taken out, then you need to report it. Or these shoes. Or have you seen this guy steal your luggage?
Is he in prison now?
Yeah.
No, he actually, from what I understand, he's got it.
He got promoted.
No, he didn't get promoted. He got fired. He's gone.
He's been fired?
Yeah, but throughout,
They'll rehire him. And
he.
How much you want to bet?
No. He's totally been fired, and now from what they're saying is that he, has to go. Here's another outfit. Here, take a look at this one. Woo! He didn't buy that, and that necklace is probably stolen allegedly. I don't know.
How many?
Do we know?
Oh wait, here's some more. You recognize these outfits? You need to call the police, because that might be.
I honestly,
that's smart.
this guy gets too much attention by the media.
Oh my God! No, it's just funny. This guy is just hilarious. I mean, come on. If he did this once, he did it twice, right? And he did it 3 times or more, allegedly.
Yeah.
But he's got to go to court. He'll end up. I think it's after the holiday. He'll end up. He has to go to court. Put both of them off for like a couple months or something. But he's going to go to jail.
I think he's gonna parlay this into a big career. He could get a TV show or something.
I just wonder, would he go to a men's prison or would he go to a woman's prison?
Of course, he's a guy.
He's not going to prison. He's gonna get his own show.
Just like Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
Being extradited to the U.S. and he's going on house arrest.
No, Sam Bankman-Fried is going to prison.
He's not.
He will be put in a federal holding cell.
They only arrested him so he wouldn't testify in front of the House panel.
Do you really listen?
They're going to bring him here.
I disagree to disagree.
He's going to be fine. Nothing's going to happen to him.
If that were to happen, it would be over. This country would be in enough. There's
No,
two.
it wouldn't be over. It wouldn't be over because
It's already
you know why?
over.
Nobody's paying attention to the news. Nobody's really understanding what's going on. You have these young women, young men being programmed to ignore things like this. Look at what they're teaching in elementary school, in high school, in middle school, and in higher education. To most people right now, this guy's a fucking hero.
That guy is not a hero. Who? Fraud man? Poodle hair guy? No, he is going to go to jail. And Eleanor, she is going to go to jail as well.
She's not, because you know why? Because she's in Dubai right now. There's no extradition law in Dubai, and nobody's talking about her.
Jail.
No,
I tell you,
they're not.
He's leaving the Bahamas because he no longer wants to poo and pee in a bucket. And he doesn't want to see rats all over him. He's a kid of luxury, and now he is going. Didn't we speak about the extradition process takes about a year to 3 years max? This guy went to court one day. He's coming back to us next day. Come on now. Yeah, no, but he's coming. That's because they want him bad here. He's going to serve time just like Madoff, and something will happen to him.
But Madoff
I believe.
Helping the Democrats and the Republicans fund.
Oh no, he funded a lot of things. No, Madoff made off with a lot of people's money. He gave money to all sorts of different things.
Not the way this guy.
No, this guy did a lot. I agree. But he's going down. And you know what? These people are demanding that money be sent back to this receiver that's taking care of it. Anyway, on that note, before we get in a fist fight over here, and Rob would kick my ass, but before we get into a fist fight, on that note, y'all stay safe. God bless you. Christmas is just a few days away for those of you that celebrate Christmas. So we'll see you soon. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. By the way, comment. Comment on Andy's comments. Comment on Robert's comments. Comment on my comments. And we'll see you tomorrow. And Romeo, you ready to go? Romeo says,
and get some gold and silver.
Somebody said to me, why does Romeo always get up when he hears about, numbers, in college? And I'm like, well, he's smart. He wants to get the hell out of here.